Ever feel like your streaming experience is a chore? Endless searches, laggy streams, and more logins than you have emails. You're in the right place. I found a device that might finally be your streaming solution, the Formuler Z11 Pro, and today I'm revealing the 3 things that make it a must-try. \n, but here's what surprised me. This isn't your grandpa's streaming box. It doesn't just add to the noise, it cuts through it. However, that's not even the best part. For the best price, click the link in the description. \n Act 1. The hook. Why settle for fragmented? I used to think a smooth, all-in-one streaming hub was a myth. I'd juggle between my smart TV's clunky apps, a gaming console for one service, and a dongle for another. It was like hosting a party where none of the guests talked to each other. My remote controls had more of a social life than I did. The promise of cutting the cord felt like a lie because I just traded one cable for a dozen digital ones. Everyone talks about content, but no one talks about the headache of actually getting to it. But what if you could have one central command center that actually listens? Therefore, before we even talk about performance, we need to talk about the philosophy. This isn't just about playing video. It's about reclaiming your time from the search bar. The first reason you need to try this is staring you right in the face. MyTVOnline 3. But we'll get to that in a second, because the setup is so stupidly simple, it's almost offensive. You plug it in, \n you connect to Wi-Fi or Ethernet. Always go Ethernet if you can. Be a hero to your own bandwidth. And then, instead of being greeted by a chaotic grid of corporate logos demanding subscriptions, you see something clean. It's the interface equivalent of a deep breath. That's the first mini promise. Calm, no more visual screaming, but an empty interface is just a pretty box. Therefore, the magic sauce, the reason Formuler has a cult following, is that first app, MyTVOnline 3. Think of it not as an app, but as a universal translator for your content. Whether you use IPTV services, have a playlist of your own, or just want to aggregate your subscription services, MOL3 is the hub. It takes all those disparate streams and presents them in a single, unified electronic program guide, EPG. That means one guide for everything. One place to record series, one place to set reminders. It turns chaos into, dare I say it, a familiar cable-like structure. But without the cable bill or the 200 channels about competitive woodcarving you never watch. \n Act 2. The deep dive, the 3 reasons you need this. All right, let's lock in. You're here for the 3 reasons. These aren't just features, they're transformations to your nightly routine. Reason number 1, as teased, is the software. MyTVOnline 3 and Android TV 11. This is the brain and the personality. MOL3 is so focused and refined for live TV and VOD that it feels like a dedicated appliance, not a janky Android app. The multi-view feature is a game-changer for sports fans. Imagine watching 4 games at once on one screen without needing a physics degree to set it up. The catch-up TV function lets you scroll back in the EPG and watch shows that aired hours ago, like a DVR for channels you don't technically own. It's time travel, but for when you miss the opening goal. And the recording, plug in a USB drive and you have a full-blown PVR. But here's the twist. This slick, specialized brain lives inside the very capable body of full Android TV 11. Therefore, you are not locked in. When you want to escape the live TV mindset, you simply exit to the full Android launcher. Suddenly, you have the entire Google Play Store. Netflix, Disney+, Prime Video, Plex, gaming apps, they all install and run natively. It's the ultimate duality, a dedicated TV machine when you need structure and a Wild West app store when you need choice. It's like having a personal chef who also knows how to order incredible takeout. You get polish and freedom. No compromises. That alone is huge, but a smooth interface is nothing if the hardware can't keep up. Which brings us to reason number 2. The hardware, a silent powerhouse. Under the hood, the Z11 Pro packs an Amlogic S9 05Y4 processor. Now, I won't geek out on specs, but in human terms, this means it's quick. Menus snap. Apps load without that infuriating hesitation. It handles 4K video decoding without breaking a sweat. It has HDR10 and HLG support for those beautiful contrast-rich visuals. The 2 GB of RAM and 16 GB of storage are ample for its purpose. It's not a gaming PC, but for streaming, it's overqualified. It's the employee who's way too talented for the job, but shows up anyway and makes everything look easy. But hardware is more than silicon. Therefore, we have to talk about the remote. Oh, the remote. It has a keyboard on the back, a full QWERTY keyboard. No more pecking out your email one letter at a time with a D-pad like a caveman trying to make fire. This one feature saves you literal hours of frustration over a year. It also has dedicated, color-coded buttons you can program for your most used apps. One click and you're in Netflix. Another and you're back in MyTVOnline. It sounds small, but it changes the entire feel from fiddling with a device to commanding your entertainment. It's the difference between a rental car and your own car, where everything is just where it should be. So you've got the perfect software-hardware marriage and a genius remote. Are we done? Not even close. Because the third reason is the secret weapon, the Formuler ecosystem and support. This is the boring thing that becomes the most important thing. Formuler devices like the Z11 Pro aren't just thrown into the market. They are supported. They get regular, meaningful firmware updates that actually add features and fix issues. The community around them is active. There's a methodology here. You're not buying a black box that's abandoned in 6 months. You're buying into a platform that evolves. It's the anti-disposable tech mentality. But why does that matter to you watching this? Therefore, think about longevity. A cheap Android box from a no-name brand might save you $50 today, but in a year when Netflix changes its DRM and the box stops working, you're out of luck. With Formuler, that update comes, your investment is protected. It's the streaming device that actually grows with you. It's like buying a tree instead of cut flowers. One is a temporary decoration. The other is an asset that gets better over time. /N/N Act 3. The resolution, is it your missing piece? Let's be real, no product is perfect. The but here is important. But the Z11 Pro is not a magic wand. Its greatest strength, MyTVOnline 3, is primarily designed for use with IPTV services or curated playlists. If you are a purely Netflix and chill person who wants zero setup, a standard Roku or Fire Stick might feel simpler out of the box. The Z11 Pro asks for a tiny bit of configuration to reach its zenith. It's for the person who wants control. It's for the sports fanatic, the movie buff who hates jumping between apps, the family that needs one simple interface for everyone. Therefore, the resolution isn't just a summary, it's a prescription. If you are tired of the fragmented streaming life, if you want one guide to rule them all while keeping the door open to every app, if you value a device that won't be obsolete next year, then this is your missing piece. It solves the organizational problem we all have but rarely talk about. It turns streaming from a scavenger hunt into a curated library experience. Remember the 3 reasons: the specialized yet open software, the hardware remote built for ease, and the ongoing support that protects your purchase. They don't just add up, they multiply. They create an experience that is simply greater than the sum of its parts. So, do you need to try the Formuler Z11 Pro? If you crave order in the streaming chaos, the answer is a resounding yes. It's the commander your entertainment center has been waiting for. And for the commander's best price, the final call to action is simple. Click the link in the description below to check the current price on Amazon. Thanks for watching, and may your streams always be buffer-free.